So step number one, I would say, is make sure you have your contact information on your YouTube page, somewhere in your description and in your about section so your brand knows where to find you. And if you have a web page, you want to have an about section just for brands where they can get to know who you are, what brands you've worked with, what kind of numbers you generate, your status as an influencer. Basically, you're selling yourself to the brands that they really want to work with you.
So Grant, do you mind actually sharing with us one of your really bigger brand deals, maybe one of the biggest brand deals that you've ever done?
Yeah, sure. This one actually happened about 3 years ago, and I think it was kind of a company who was a little bit new to influencer marketing, because when I negotiated with them, I really went high and they didn't counteract on it. They actually just accepted it. And so, for me, that was one of the biggest brand deals I've ever done. It was about $150,000, and I gave them everything that I had. I put all the bells and whistles onto it. I just put everything into it for them. And the results on their end were really mixed. They felt like it was a really home run in one area, but then they didn't really sell a lot of units either. So we didn't do any repeat deals. I didn't do any more brand deals with them. It was just kind of like a one-time thing. So that's another thing I want to mention is when you're doing these deals with brands, you really want to take them on as a partner and say, look, I care about you. I want repeat business, because brands are really your customer. You want to treat them well. You want to get their brand message in a way that they resonate with, because you want them to come back and do it again. With this other company, if I would have only maybe done a $50,000 deal, maybe they would have come back 4, 5, 6, 7 different times, and that would have been more longer term revenue. But at the time I took a high fee, they didn't get the results that they wanted, and so it was done.
Got it.
But I would say, for planning purposes, a lot of the bigger brand deals really are in that $30,000 to $80,000 range when you have a large established channel making about 1 million views per video.
Now I want to ask you this other question. What was one of your favorite ones to do? Like I've seen some of your videos, man. You get creative, like you have fun. I saw this one video where you guys were out in California and have built like the world's largest smoke bombing anthill or termite, or and it was like for that. I mean, it was like what's one of your favorite brand deals that you've ever done?
That's a great question. I've done so many that are so fun, and I think that's part of the fun of being a creative influencer is how do you take somebody else's product and integrate it into a video that fits your style and that your audience is going to want to support. So, working with Lenovo, we came up with this idea to make a giant volcano and pack it with sugar rocket fuel, because in my rocket experiments, I noticed this stuff looks like volcano going off and puts off a lot of smoke. How cool would it be to make a smoking volcano? So with their team, we built a 14-foot volcano and made a huge pyrotechnic display. That was awesome, but one that I really enjoyed even more than that was taking a 10-foot rocket and strapping a Moto Z-Force phone to it, pressing record and shooting it up to 20,000 feet at Mach 1.4.
Wow.
We recovered that footage, we recovered the rocket. That was a fantastic experience. And working with DeWalt, I think DeWalt is awesome because I use their products anyway. They reached out to me, they sent me all their cordless power equipment. I had cordless table saws, cordless miter saws for their FlexVolt system. I took it out to the desert, I built tables, I built all kinds of stuff, and then we made a huge bonfire that we lit off with a rocket launcher.
Wow.
So for me, that's awesome. Lighting a bonfire in the desert with a rocket launcher, promoting the DeWalt FlexVolt that made it all possible. For me, that's just a lot of fun. It gives their product exposure in a totally unique way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if they want to do a promo, they've got to hire a company to do a video. They're looking more to the internet now because we have followers, we have influence, and so why not just give us a little bit of the budget and have us make a video for them?
Wow, so let me just share back some of the things that I've heard in this that I think are super valuable. First of all, you shared a couple of websites where you can go if you're brand new for actually picking up from some sponsorships by saying, I'm out here, I'm available, this is my level of influence, these are the projects I like doing, and you might pick up a deal that way.
Yep.
Another thing that I've really learned is that you got to take care of people like
Yeah.
they're your partners. It's not just like a one-time get a check and run for the hills. It's a, hey, if we treat each other right and if we nail this, then maybe we'll get a chance to do things again. And it sounds like you've had a chance to have some sponsors that will come back and do things again and again and again.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I've heard is that it's important that you make sure you take care of your sponsors so that when you negotiate, hey, what do I need to do in the video? Then make sure that you're incorporating that in an authentic way to the videos that you like to create so that it's a total win-win, but where you really blow them away and you go over the hill making sure that you really take care of them.
Yeah, that's really, you don't want to just take the money and run. You want to treat them as a partner. And recently, we've got partners that want to build out campaigns for an entire year. They'll say, 6 to 8 to maybe even 10 videos over the course of a year. So this really is turning into a long-term relationship. And just 2 more things that I wanted to share with you guys. While you're getting started, if you know other influencers who are already being sponsored, you might want to reach out to them and see if they can make a connection with you to the brands that they're working with. Now, most brands, when they're doing a sponsored video, they don't come straight to the influencer. They go to an agency, and the agency finds an influencer. So if you start tracking down which agencies are bringing brand deals, and you just get up on the radar and say, hey, I'm an influencer, I've got a following, this is what I do, keep me in mind for the next one, there's a good chance that they'll circle back, especially if you have a referral from someone they've already done deals with in the past. Awesome. And if you don't have that connection, you could look into getting a manager. There are companies out there that call themselves MCNs, multi-channel networks. They will promise you to do all kinds of brand deals. Some of them will, but from my experience, I'd say 99% of people who are involved have a very poor experience. So I would avoid MCNs, but you might want to look into getting a manager. These are people who are already plugged into a lot of those agencies. They see a lot of the deal flow, and they're going to take about 10 to 20% of the actual deal itself. But if you're getting something you didn't have before, it might be well worth having them on board. And they're also going to have a good idea of what the market value of these types of integrations are for your channel as well. So look into getting a manager if you can. Ask for referrals, sign up with some of these companies, and just make really great content. When you do sponsored deals, take good care of your sponsors, and you'll have plenty more.
Grant, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. And friends, that's the lowdown on sponsorships.
Thanks for joining us for this video, guys. I hope you have great success getting those meat and potatoes. The sponsored money is great money, and there's plenty of it. I think a lot of attention is moving from television to the internet, so this is just going to keep getting bigger.
And friends, as it gets bigger, if you want to get in line and get your piece of the action on sponsorships, you got to start first things first, which is get that YouTube channel off the ground and get it rolling in a successful way. And again, if you want any help on that, then check the link in the description below. Head over to our website, have a pit stop, see some of the services and ways that we can help you get there quicker and faster so that we can make it happen.
We'll see you there.